Dang, it's kind of, life is so trippy and so weird, dude. Like, it's really sad to think that, like, yeah, I'm walking down the boulevard, a different boulevard, but, yeah, just walking around and, 29, you could kind of be silly still, you could, still do what you want to do, but, like, you have this, like, constant or consistent existential crisis going on in your head. Maybe it's just me, because that's, like, how it's been, like, my whole life, but at least it used to be more tolerable and bearable, and, like, I could live. But, yeah, and then, like, walking down the boulevard, I was 20, 21, like, you're just a magnet for, just annoyances and being, like, hassled and harassed and stopped by everyone. And as you get older, you're like, okay, cool, I could actually walk down the street without people, like, bombarding me. So that's cool. But it's so weird to think about. But one day I'm going to be, like, 80 years old, walking around, and people are just going to feel so bad for me. And it's so weird. It's so sad to think that old payphone, outdated. Yeah, see, I'm going to be outdated one day. And we all are. And that's just the weirdest part about life. Like, we have this perception of reality right now. And with our perspective of being, like, youth or whatever we're called. And it's crazy that, like, one day back in the day, those people were just like us. And they were us. And now, like, it's just sad how elderly, it's like almost like they're just disregarded completely. Like, no one has their feelings in consideration. They're literally, some of them are eating dog food because they can't afford food. You can't live off Social Security. I don't know how. Like, I wouldn't be able to keep up with these crazy changing times in this technological era of, just like revolution and scams. It's like, it's just so sad that, like, they're not even thought about when it comes to like it's like we don't even think of them. Not we, I do, but it seems like a lot of the population doesn't even think of, like, elderly people as, like, people, unless it's their grandma or their grandparents or their relative. It's really sad of, like, how little respect they have, like, or, like, it's almost like, I mean, if they could, like, the right to vote, the right to, I don't know, it's like, it's so sad that they're just, like, cornered into this tiny little pocket of the world and pushed into this tiny little reality of what they can actually, like, do or still do. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just, like, feel really bad for them. And it's crazy that I'm walking around for the past, like, 29 years. And it's so crazy that one day I'm going to be walking around and, like, I'll be, like, invisible, All those times that I was like, oh, I just want to walk down the street without running into someone I've changed their oil for. Or without, like, I'm not saying this in an offensive way, a homeless person bothered me. I was homeless on and off 10 years. That's not what I'm saying. I don't mind being bothered by them. Some of them are cool, and those are, like, my friends. But some are just, like, just like the meth industry is just so cray-cray out there on the streets that it's like, that's the last thing you really want to be encountering is just, like, bad influences. Especially when you don't got no time for that bullshit, and you don't even have the desire to, and that's, like, just not something that's ever, like, I've never entertained the thought of that. Never. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm saying.